Have you interviewed the president yet?
I have not.
You have any desire to interview the president? Of course. Who wouldn't, right?
I would definitely be interested in interviewing him.
Yeah. What is your sense of him personally? I mean, you have colleagues certainly who've interviewed him.
Yes.
I keep asking people who have interactions with him, what's he like? What's he like? And I wonder, is that a weird thing to ask? But I'm really curious as a citizen, like how much of what we see is an act, and how much of who he actually is in the room is different than the person we see on TV.
Well, if you watch the interviews that he's done and listen to the recordings of interviews that he's done, he seems to be a really personable person.
Yeah.
If you watch The Apprentice, he's also kind of entertaining, kind of wants you to really like him, so he's saying things that maybe is trying to flatter you. Even if he doesn't like maybe the New York Times as a whole, he still is giving you access to him. So I think there's that aspect that definitely he is someone who is probably a charming, kind of charismatic person. But then if you look at the historical Donald Trump, if you look at the person who took out the ad with the Central Park Five,
right, yeah.
If you look at the person who was sued by the Justice Department because he was discriminating against people and saying that African Americans shouldn't be living in his building, I think then you get a clearer picture of who he is in terms of policies and his views of people of color.
Yeah.
I interviewed his ex-black girlfriend, or multiracial girlfriend. She's part African American, and she said that he would talk about African Americans and be surprised that they like tennis. But he also really liked hanging out with African American celebrities. He liked hanging out with Russell Simmons. He liked hanging out with Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson told me that he gave his organization space in his building for free. So there was this part of him that was going to these meetings where people were trying to get more black people on Wall Street and was interested in that topic. There weren't cameras there. There weren't people edging him on. He was genuinely like, yeah, Jesse Jackson, come to my
And he wasn't
tower.
running for office at the time.
He wasn't running for office at the time. So it's a complex person, and is who the president is.
If you got the opportunity in the context of the particular beat that you're on, or the interest that you have in civil rights journalism, as you described it, to sit down with him and to talk about race with him, what would you want to ask him?
The first question I would ask is, why do you think white supremacists are excited about your presidency?
Yeah.
What is it about what you said that you think hits a chord with people who want to discriminate against people of color?
Yeah.
And should they not be excited about you? And people say that you're a racist. What do you say to those people who call you a racist? And it's one thing to say, I know we've said in the past, you're the least racist person ever. Why?
Well, you said it just like 2 weeks ago, right?
You said that you're the least racist person ever. Explain to me why that's the case. Where's the evidence for that?
You believe he's racist?
I am a reporter that's covering him, so
But you're also a human.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, I'm punting on that question because I don't think that as a reporter, we should be talking about that.